Have you ever pondered about the future of Western democracies? As we stand here today, our societies are marked by the principles of freedom, equality, and justice. Western democracies have always been a beacon of these values, fostering an environment where diversity is celebrated and cultures come together. However, a potential threat looms on the horizon: the rise of radical Islam. This ideology, far removed from the peaceful teachings of mainstream Islam, seeks to alter the global order as we know it. The goal? To establish a world governed by their interpretation of Sharia law. By 2030, it is projected that 1 in 4 people in the European Union could be Muslim. This demographic shift could potentially lead to changes in our democratic laws and systems. The question is, will these changes uphold the principles of freedom and equality that we hold dear? Freedom as we know it could be at stake if we don't pay attention. What role do jihadist groups like Hamas and ISIS play in this potential shift? These organizations have clear strategies and goals. They're not just groups operating in the shadows, but structured entities with long-term plans. Their immediate objective? Initiate terror attacks against Jews and Christians. This isn't just about causing fear and chaos, it's a calculated move to unsettle the status quo. Their long-term vision? Implement Sharia law, a legal system based on their interpretation of Islam. This isn't just about changing laws, it's about reshaping societies. And Iran, a country with significant influence in the Muslim world, could potentially lead this plan. But let's be clear, the threat from these groups isn't just regional, it's global. They want to change the world as we know it. And that's why it's vital for us to understand their intentions, their strategies, and their potential impact. The threat from these groups is not just regional, but global. What does this mean for our Western democracies? Let's delve into the implications. The growing Muslim population in the European Union could lead to significant shifts in democratic laws and systems. By 2050, it's projected that radical Islam could gain a majority. This is not about demonizing a faith or a group of people, but about being aware of the potential implications of a radical ideology gaining ground. Imagine a world where the principles of democracy, the very pillars that hold our societies together, are replaced with a different set of rules. Our political landscape could undergo a seismic shift, with laws being rewritten to cater to a single ideology. Freedom of speech, gender equality, and religious tolerance all could be at stake. The potential impact on Israel and other Western democracies could be profound. Israel, a democratic oasis in the Middle East, could face existential threats. The ripple effects would be felt across the globe as Western democracies grapple with the changing dynamics. And let's be clear, this isn't about creating fear or spreading hatred. It's about understanding the potential risks and engaging in a dialogue about the future of our societies. It's about ensuring that the values we hold dear, the freedoms we cherish, are preserved for future generations. So what's at stake? Quite simply, our way of life, our freedoms, and our democracies could be fundamentally altered. So what can we do to prevent this potential future? The answer lies in embracing our responsibility as global citizens. It starts with staying informed about world events, understanding the motivations and actions of these radical groups. Knowledge is power, and by equipping ourselves with factual, unbiased information, we can make informed decisions and engage in meaningful conversations. But staying informed is just the first step. We must also actively participate in our political processes, ensuring our voices are heard. Democracy is not a spectator sport. It requires participation, engagement, and vigilance from each one of us. We must be proactive, not reactive, and engage in political discourse that promotes peace, unity, and the preservation of democratic values. Let's advocate for these democratic values, not just in our own countries, but around the world. We must resist attempts to undermine these values, whether they come from inside or outside our borders. Unity, equality, justice, and freedom are not just ideals, they are the pillars that uphold our societies. Lastly, remember that change starts at the individual level. Every action counts, and every voice matters. By standing up for democracy, we protect not only our own rights, but also those of our fellow global citizens. So, let's take the reins of our future. Let's choose knowledge over ignorance, action over complacency, unity over division. Stay informed, stay vigilant, our future depends on it. Let's delve deeper into the propaganda machine that fuels these radical movements. Often, these groups exploit the lack of education and misinformation to manipulate individuals, feeding them distorted narratives about Israel and the West. They present the West as an enemy, using misinformation and half-truths to foster anger and resentment. Anti-Semitism becomes a rallying cry, a tool to gather support in the West for causes like Gaza and Hamas. Many supporters, unfortunately, remain unaware of the larger plan at play, the destruction of Israel. Israel stands at the forefront of this fight against jihad. It's crucial to understand the reality behind the propaganda, to see the actual picture that is often shrouded in bias and misinformation. Knowledge is our best defense against such manipulation. It's essential to question what we're told and seek the truth for ourselves. By doing so, we can resist the influence of these propaganda machines and make informed decisions that contribute to a more peaceful, united world. Remember, the fight against misinformation starts with you. Stay informed, stay vigilant, our future depends on it. Now, before we wrap up, it's time to discuss what you, as an individual, can do to combat this issue. Firstly, if you found this video informative and insightful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We strive to bring you well-researched content that sheds light on the complexities of our world. Secondly, share this video with your friends, family, and social networks. Awareness is the first step towards change, and by sharing this video, you're contributing to a broader understanding of these crucial issues. Let's remember, knowledge is power. By staying informed and vigilant, you're playing a crucial role in the fight against misinformation and propaganda. Thank you for being a part of this journey to create a more informed and united world.